Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes.
Please have a seat. Everything we do has to be recorded, so I'm going to ask you to move a little bit closer to that microphone. You don't need to lean into it. It just needs to be in front of you to catch your voice.
Okay.
If you'd begin by stating your name for the jury and spelling your last name for us, please.
I'm Kiara McCully, McCulley.
Ms. Murphy, you may proceed.
Thank you. Good morning, ma'am. How old are you?
I'm 23.
Okay, and can you just get a little closer to the mic?
Okay, is that better?
Yes, thank you. When is your birthday?
December 4th, 2002.
How far did you get in high school?
11th grade.
What's your mom's name?
Lanny.
When you go to October of 2022, where were you living on October 28th, 29th of 2022?
The garage of my mom's house, which is...
Okay. Did anyone else live in that garage with you?
It was me and Isaac.
Okay. Were there any parks or features, public spaces near that house at 5941 Jaguar Drive?
Yes.
Can you tell us about that?
There were a few schools, and then there's a park just about a block away.
Do you know if that park had a name or the cross streets near it?
I don't remember.
I want to talk about someone named Grace Jennings, okay? Do you or did you know somebody named Grace Jennings?
I did.
How old were you when you met Grace?
I don't remember the exact age. I just know I was in 2nd grade when I met her.
Okay. How did you meet her?
I was best friends with her little sister.
Going forward into your early teen years, what was your relationship with Grace?
We were friends for a while, and then we started dating.
Okay. How long did you date?
About 8 months, if I remember correctly.
Okay. And what do you mean when you say that you guys dated?
Like, we were in a semi-serious relationship.
Okay. And what does that mean to you?
That she was pretty much number one above me in my life. She meant everything to me at the time.
What would you do, you and Grace, during that time frame?
We would go out, we would have fun, just be kids.
Did you eventually break up?
Yes.
Okay. And without saying anything anyone said or did, how did that breakup impact you emotionally?
It was really difficult for me.
Okay.
I'm the one who ended it, but I never really let go.
Okay. After you and Grace broke up, did you eventually start dating somebody named Isaac Apodaca?
I did.
How did you meet Isaac Apodaca?
I had talked to Grace, and we were just talking about meeting up at the Santa Fe Place Mall so that I could see if she was worth bringing back into my life. And when I was there, Isaac was there with her.
Okay. And what happened?
We started talking and hanging out. We were just doing what normal kids do, you know. And then later in the night, he walked me home. And the next day we were supposed to meet up, all 3 of us, and Grace didn't show up. So it turned into Isaac and I's first date.
Okay. And do you remember the year that that happened?
2019.
How long did you and Isaac Apodaca date?
3.5 years.
Is Isaac Apodaca present in the courtroom today?
Yes.
Can you please point to him and tell me what he's wearing?
He's over here wearing a quite nice suit and a blue tie.
Your Honor, can the record reflect that this witness identified Isaac Apodaca?
She has.
Thank you. When you and Isaac were together, did you have pet names or nicknames for each other?
Yes.
Okay. What was the nickname that Isaac would use for you?
Puggle.
Puggle?
Yeah. It means baby platypus.
Okay. And what was your nickname for Isaac?
Otter.
And you stated that you you lived together with Isaac?
Yes,
Where did you first live together with Isaac?
my mom's house.
And when you say the house, what do you mean?
It's the 5941 Jaguar Drive. That's the house that we were living in.
Okay,
We were in the bigger room at the front of the house.
okay. In the main house?
Yes.
Right. And how long did you live in the main house together, you and Isaac?
It was on and off between there and other locations for most of our time together. I can't remember exactly how long. Okay. It was most of it.
Did you ever live in any other locations on the property at 5941 Jaguar?
Yes.
Okay, and what was that other location?
The garage.
Okay. Why did you move to the garage?
Isaac was telling me that my mom wasn't really that great for me, so I needed to get some space.
Okay. Can you kind of describe the general layout of the garage?
We moved things around a few times, but when you first go in, to the right of you, there's the TV and a table, and the bed is right in front of you.
Okay. What size was the bed, if you remember?
It was a queen.
A queen? Okay. I want to talk a little bit about something that happened on April 4th of 2022. Without saying anything else, do you know what I'm referring to when I say that day?
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Okay. Briefly, what happened on April 4th of 2022?
I was having a hard time and debating things, and I told Isaac about what I was thinking about, and he had a complete breakdown and attacked me.
What do you mean he attacked you?
He started beating me up.
Okay. Did you have any injuries?
Yes, he broke my thumb and left a lot of bruises.
And when you say you were debating things, what were you debating?
Our relationship.
Did you go anywhere for medical care after that happened?
Yes.
Where'd you go?
I went to, which hospital was it? It was not St. Vincent's. What was the other one called? Sorry, it's been so long since I've been there.
It's okay. You went to the hospital?
Yeah, I went to the hospital.
All right. And did you speak to the police at all about that incident?
I did.
Okay. Did you pursue charges for it?
I did not.
All right. Why?
I didn't want to make his life harder, and I wanted him happy so he would come back.
What made you, did Isaac say anything specific about the charges or about not cooperating with the charges?
I don't really remember.
Okay. After that incident, did you get back with Isaac?
I did.
Do you remember how long from when that happened until you guys were back together?
It was about 3 weeks.
Okay. How, if at all, did your relationship change after that incident in April of 2022?
For maybe a month, it was like a honeymoon stage, but then it went straight back to the abuse that I was getting.
Okay. I want to talk about something called sex work, okay? Mm-hmm. Right. Do you know what that means?
Yes.
All right. Is there another word for sex work?
There are a lot of different terms, but yeah.
Is me referring to it as sex work a term or phrase that you're comfortable with me using to refer to what we're going to talk about? Okay. Have you ever engaged in sex work?
Yes.
Right. And what does that mean to you?
I would have sex with different people and get money for that.
Okay. How did that come about that you started doing that?
In 2020, Isaac and I were living in an apartment with his friend, and no one was willing to get a job or pay for anything, and he suggested that I start basically prostituting myself. And I told him I needed to think about it, and then he just said, I already have a couple clients for you, just go out and do it.
And when you say he, who do you mean?
Isaac.
How was payment rendered for the sex work? Who got paid and how?
I would be handed the money at first from the client, and then I would take it to Isaac, and he would hold on to it.
Why give Isaac the money?
I'm not even sure why I gave it to him.
Okay. Do you know what Isaac would do with the money from sex work?
From getting model kits to other things that I'm not sure about, he would just spend it on whatever he wanted.
Okay. I want to talk about things Isaac would tell you, okay? And can you explain to me what, if anything, you would believe in general that Isaac would tell you that maybe you feel differently about now?
Oh, there's so many things. He had me convinced that he was an angel. Had me convinced of a lot of different things, even an organization that doesn't exist.
Okay.
And I understand why I fell into it now that I've looked at it, but I'm very disappointed in myself still.
Okay. What do you mean you believed he was an angel?
He had convinced me he was the Archangel Gabriel.
What do you mean that he convinced you that he was the Archangel Gabriel?
When I first met him, he told me that he was the angel, but at first I didn't believe him. Then he started telling me things that no one knew about me. And maybe a part of me wanted it to be real. But then when I started really believing him, I just kept asking, tell me more, and he kept feeding it.
Okay. What sorts of things would he tell you as it relates to him being the Archangel Gabriel?
He told me my darkest secret.
What do you mean by that?
It's just one thing I never told anyone, not even my mom.
And you believed that he knew that because he was an angel?
Yeah.
All right. You said that he told you he was part of an organization and you believed that?
Yeah.
All right. Do you remember what that organization was called?
He called it Ghost.
Ghost?
Yes.
Okay. Do you recall when you started hearing about, from Isaac, an organization called Ghost?
It was maybe 2-3 months into the relationship. And he kept telling me that I could be a part of it and be a hero per se. Just one thing I wanted to do was be a hero to somebody.
What was Ghost, as Isaac described it to you?
A vigilante group that took out people that, by took out I mean kill, people who were like pedophiles, rapists, even drug addicts. Just people that were considered bad.
Did Isaac tell you how he would communicate with other members of this organization?
He never told me how he would communicate with them.
Okay. What did you believe Isaac's role in this organization called Ghost was?
He told me he was the one who started it.
And you stated that the purpose was to kill people. Did Isaac make any representations to you about what he had done in the course of his work for Ghost?
He had referenced that he had killed 40 people already, which is a high number.
Okay.
Ridiculous.
I want to talk about any sort of markings or ranking marks related to Ghost. Do you know what I'm referring to when I?
Yes.
Okay. What am I referring to when I say markings related to Ghost?
So he had given me a tattoo on my hand that it was supposed to say, this is that I'm a part of it. I ended up covering it up.
Okay.
But I just, yeah.
In October of 2022, did you have a marking on your body related to Ghost?
Yes.
Okay. And who gave that to you?
Isaac.
All right. What, Kiara, Ms. McCully, why did you believe these things about Ghost that Isaac would tell you?
I'm not sure why at the time. I've been doing a lot of self-reflection. So really, I just wanted somewhere to belong.
All right. Did Isaac ever show you anything related to Ghost? And by that I mean messages with other individuals, or did he provide any physical proof to you that he was part of this organization or that the organization even existed?
The closest thing was when he got on the dark web, but that's it.
And what do you mean by that?
He got onto some, I'm not sure how, but there was this part of the internet where he was finding like very inappropriate videos that I do not ever want to see again.
Okay. I want to talk about Grace again. In October of 2022, did you have any beliefs related to Grace and something that may have happened to you?
Yes.
All right. In October of 2022, what did you believe Grace had done or helped do to you?
I believed she was a part of a rape that I'm not even certain now is real.
How did that idea that Grace had been part of a rape come about? Where did that originate?
Isaac started telling me about a video that he found that looked like me.
And what did he say was happening in the video?
He said that there was a gang rape in that video and it looked like a girl like me, but he got it taken down and he never showed it to me, but I believed him.
What role would Grace have had in that video?
He said that he saw her getting money out of the deal.
When did you start believing that Grace had essentially facilitated a gang rape for you? How far into your relationship with Isaac?
That was about 6 months.
When you started to believe that Grace had facilitated this rape, how did that make you feel?
It made me angry, it made me sad, depressed, all these different emotions, very confusing emotions, all hitting me like at a point where I'm like, someone I love could have done something that bad.
What specific feelings did you have about it as towards Grace at that point?
I was extremely angry with her and
Microphone VO. This is the moment where the testimony shifts from emotional history to alleged criminal intent, and it's a crucial turning point. Notice how the witness describes saying yes without fully grasping what would happen next. In court, jurors often have to separate words spoken in anger from actual intent and actions that followed. But here's the question for you. Do you think this was manipulation escalating into violence? Or did personal choice take over at this point?
I wanted her to feel the pain I felt.
I want to talk very briefly about something on Halloween in 2021, so a year prior to everything that happened with Grace. Do you know what I'm referring to when I say Halloween of 2021?
I believe so.
Okay. Briefly and generally, what happened on Halloween in 2021?
I had thrown a party and no one showed up, so I got really upset. And I called one of my clients, and Isaac came along with, and then someone put something in my drink, and I was raped that night.
Did you get medical care for that assault?
Yes, there was a rape kit done.
After, you said it was with a client?
Yeah,
Okay,
he was a client turned to friend almost, I thought.
Did you or Isaac get paid for that night?
I'm not certain.
After that, did you do any more sex work?
I did.
Whose idea was it for you to continue doing sex work?
It was Isaac's.
And what do you mean by that?
I kept telling him I didn't want to do it anymore, but he kept setting people up so that I could just keep getting paid.
Okay.
This would be the only thing he wanted.
Do you recall how, for lack of a better word, you would advertise for the sex work?
Yes, there was an ad on Skip the Games, which Isaac put up for me.
And what is Skip the Games?
It's a website for escorts and prostitutes, I think.
Okay.
I was never personally on the site.
Other than creating the account or the profile, did Isaac do anything else as it related to you and images being on the site?
There were some photos that he took for specific clients.
All right. In October of 2022, Kiara, prior to the incident, at that point, what were your feelings towards Grace? How strong were they?
They were pretty strong. I just wanted her out of my life, but part of me still wanted her around. So I kept messaging